What we have coming up is storms tonight and then heat tomorrow yet again. Surprise, surprise, right? We keep talking about it. This is the heat index forecast for tomorrow. Upwards of 100 degrees is what it feels like. And fast forward to Friday, we do it again. But it's these 2 days left before we do get some relief. But starting at noon tomorrow through Friday evening, a heat advisory in effect for the metro and much of southern Minnesota, along and south of 94 as it heads into Wisconsin as well. Meanwhile, still right near 80 degrees outside right now, and it actually feels quite nice. But although it's quiet at the moment, we are expecting some storms, mainly south of the Twin Cities overnight. And the flash flood watch has been altered a little bit in its area. The metro no longer included in that, but still to the south of the Twin Cities, all through southeastern Minnesota over into Pepin and Buffalo County, Wisconsin. A flash flood watch remains in effect with the possibility of 1 to 3 inches of rain coming overnight. That along a stationary front that's draped over southern Minnesota. The storms from northern Minnesota up in the boundary waters at the moment are from a separate system. So we're sandwiched right here with clear skies in much of the state in between those two fronts. Still one severe thunderstorm warning lingering up in northern Lake County and nothing happening elsewhere. But again, overnight, we'll watch for some of those storms to filter up from Iowa. Here's 3 a.m. starting to see some of them move in, and most of it should be gone by the time we get to rush hour, maybe just scraping the southern fringe of the Twin Cities. So Scott and Dakota County, you have the best chance to see some of that early morning rain. And I mentioned earlier, some of the models do push it up a little higher to include Hennepin, Ramsey, part of Washington. But then after that, much of the day is dry. A few isolated storms return for tomorrow night. So we're not out of this lather, rinse, repeat pattern just quite yet. But overnight tonight, it is areas south of the Twin Cities that stand the best chance for rain, and that's that potential for flash flooding. Anywhere you see purple in here, that's more than 1.5 inches of rain, and 1 to 3 inches possible throughout the day tomorrow. What we get tomorrow, again, is quite a quiet day. Still hot, still humid late. A couple chances for some isolated storms, but overall it's mostly dry. High temperatures right near 90. It's going to feel nice this weekend. Yes, there are some storms on Saturday, but they're the game changer. 82 degrees for Saturday and Sunday and much less humid. Dew points the past few days have been above 70. On Saturday and Sunday, they're right near 60 degrees, Randy.
All right. Thank you, Laura.